The Young and the Restless. Spoilers full. Welcome back to the channel, fellow Y and R addicts. Today is a beautiful day to dissect some absolute soap opera madness. Grab your strongest cup of coffee or maybe something a little harder because we need to talk about the absolute chaos unfolding in Genoa City right now. Let's jump right into it. I cannot believe they are doing this. I am literally screaming at my screen right now. Patty Williams? Really? We are doing the Patty Williams obsession storyline again, and I am both entirely here for it and completely disgusted at the same time. Because let's be real, seeing Jack Abbott backed into a corner by this delusional woman is just wild. I mean, the sheer audacity of Patty showing up at the Abbott mansion, ringing the doorbell, and just casually showing Jack a photo of Diane unconscious in a padded cell. A padded cell. Like, who does she think she is? And Jack's face. You could see the absolute terror and revulsion fighting for dominance on his face. I'm sorry, but if someone showed me a picture of my spouse locked up like that, I would lose my mind. But no, Patty is just standing there, smug as ever, acting like she's doing him a massive favor. She literally said Diane's psyche was shattered and that she found her. Oh, please. We all know you paid off that sleazeball doctor, Patty. So let's talk about Diane Jenkins Abbott for a second. Diane is waking up in this strange, barred room, armed with nothing but a letter opener. And she is finally putting the pieces together. I know some people are loving this because Diane has a history of faking her own death and manipulating people, but personally, I feel so bad for her right now. She is being gaslit into absolute oblivion. Doctor, Lawrence Markham is standing there, looking her dead in the eye, telling her she had a massive mental breakdown on the side of the road, and that Jack, her own husband, authorized her captivity. And Diane realizes, with this horrifying, sinking feeling, that this doctor is Patty's secret partner. Can we just appreciate the absolute terror of that realization? You are locked in a room. You have no phone. There are bars on the windows. You see books by Dr. Alain Laurent on the shelf, and the medical professional in charge of your care is on the payroll of your husband's psychotic stalker. I mean, Diane must be going out of her mind trying to figure out how to escape this mess. And this is where I start to contradict myself because part of me is like, Diane, use that letter opener. Just take him out. But another part of me is terrified that if she attacks Dr. Markham, they will just sedate her again and make the mental breakdown story look real to the police. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's back up to the fact that Diane is sitting there desperately hoping that Jack will somehow piece this all together and come to her rescue. It is actually kind of poetic if you think about it. For years, Diane was the one pulling the strings, the one leaving town, the one hiding in the shadows. Now she is the damsel in distress, entirely dependent on Jack figuring out the breadcrumb. But will he? Because right now, Jack is dealing with the most unhinged blackmail demand in the history of daytime television. I'm sorry, but we need to talk about the yacht. Patty Williams is literally blackmailing Jack for sex. She wants to recreate the magic they had on the yacht. I physically gagged. I mean, Jack's memories of catching Diane on the boat and then Patty manipulating the situation. It is all so incredibly toxic. Patty is holding Diane's actual life and sanity as collateral so she can force Jack into bed. This is so dark, even for the young and the restless. I have been watching since 2015, and this is honestly one of the most twisted things they have done. And you know what the craziest part is? Jack might actually do it. He might actually have to sleep with Patty, or at least pretend he is going to, just to get information out of her. Can you imagine the psychological toll that it's going to take on him? He loves Diane. He has fought his entire family, especially Victor and Nikki, to defend Diane. And now he has to play along with Patty's sick fantasy. I am dreading watching this, but I also know I won't be able to look away. But thank God for Tracy Abbott. Can we get a massive round of applause for Tracy? Because while Jack is spiraling, Tracy is out here doing actual detective work. Remember when she was at the Park Cafe and literally hid behind a pillar to spy on Patty and Dr. Markham? Incredible. Tracy saw the cash envelope handoff. She heard Patty say she needs proof. And then Tracy marched right up to Patty and told her, I despise you and that will never change. Yes, Tracy, tell her. Tracy is the moral compass of the Abbott family, but she is also fiercely protective, and I love that she is not backing down. So now Jack is calling this emergency war room meeting with Tracy and Kyle, and I am so here for this family team up because Kyle is finally waking up to the reality of the situation. Earlier, when Detective Burrow came to the house and tried to suggest that Diane just ran off on her own, Kyle shut that down immediately. He was like, my mom runs a major division at Jabot. She wouldn't just abandon her life. It breaks my heart to see Kyle defending his mom's reputation when she is literally locked in a padded cell. But now that Jack, Tracy, and Kyle are forming a united front, I feel like they have a fighting chance. They are going to have to make some incredibly risky decisions. Jack is going to have to string Patty along. He is going to have to smile at her, maybe pour her a drink, and act like he is considering her disgusting offer, all while Tracy and Kyle try to track down Dr. Markham. And let's not forget the massive, looming shadow over all of this, Victor Newman. Oh my God, my blood is boiling just typing his name right now, because we all know Victor is the original mastermind here. He had Diane kidnapped first. He held her in that dark, murky room and told her he was her friend who wanted to take down Jack. Victor set the stage for this entire nightmare, and now Patty is just the ground-level operative executing the blackmail. Does Patty even know she is playing into Victor's hands? Does Victor know Patty is demanding sex from Jack? I mean, Victor hates Jack, but this is a whole new level of psychological warfare. Victor is just sitting back at the ranch, probably sipping tequila, watching the Abbott family implode. It makes me so mad, but it is also classic Victor. Remember when he brought Marco Anicelli into town to replace Jack? Yeah, didn't work then either, but Victor has absolutely no limits when it comes to destroying Jack Abbott. So what is Dr. Markham's endgame here? He is a corrupt psychiatrist who clearly only cares about the massive cash payoffs. But he has to know that crossing the Abbott family is a death sentence for his career, right? If Jack finds out where that clinic is, he is going to destroy Markham. And I hope he does. I hope Jack buys the hospital just to fire him. But right now, Markham holds all the cards. He is standing in that room with Diane, watching her grip that letter opener, and he is just so smug. You will stay here while I decide where you go next. The nerve. I really, really want Diane to just lunge at him. I know it would be a bad idea, but the emotional release would be fantastic because Diane is a survivor. She has survived Nikki. She has survived Phyllis. She has survived Victor. She is not going to let some second-rate bribe doctor break her mind. I am typing this so furiously right now because the suspense is killing me. Jack is going to have to make the ultimate sacrifice. He is going to have to let Patty believe she is winning. And Patty is so unpredictable. If Jack slips up for even a second, if he shows his disgust, Patty could just call Markham and have Diane moved, or worse, heavily sedated to the point of permanent brain damage. Patty poisoned Summer Newman years ago, people. She is capable of anything. Jack has to thread this needle perfectly. He has to balance his absolute hatred for Patty with his desperate need to save his wife. And I know Jack is going to be leaning heavily on Tracy and Kyle to keep him grounded, because if he was doing this alone, he would probably just strangle Patty in the living room. Okay, back to the point. The realization Diane is having right now is the turning point of this storyline. She isn't just confused anymore. She knows she is in a trap set by Patty Williams. That means she knows exactly what kind of crazy she is dealing with. Diane is going to start playing her own game from the inside. She is going to try to manipulate Markham. I can feel it. She is going to use every ounce of that classic Diane Jenkins cunning to find a way out, or at least get a message to Jack. And when Jack finally bursts through those doors to save her, oh, it is going to be the most epic soap opera reunion ever. I am counting down the days. Let's just tally gets what is coming to her. I swear, if she ends up getting away with this and just skipping town, I will riot. We need justice for Diane. We need Jack to get his wife back. And we need Dr. Markham's medical license revoked immediately. Am I the only one who is this stressed out about a fictional kidnapping? Probably. But that is exactly why we watch, right? Let me know what you guys think is going to happen next.